Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is ㅣComparing. I'm a K-beauty and skincare content creator and lover of all things beauty and skincare. For today's video, I wanted to give you a little comparison of 4 ㅅCA creams that I've been trying out these past months. I think it's sometimes a little bit difficult to know which one is the right one for your skin type, for your skin concern, what the difference is in ingredients and when it comes to their textures. So we're going to do a little battle of the ㅅCA creams for today. First up is the Make Prem INTECA Soothing Cream, which is this one. Now this one I feel is not as well known and as popular for whatever reason, because I actually think it's one of the best soothing and calming creams that I've tried. I'm a huge fan of this cream. Make Prem in general, I think, is not as well known by skinfluencers, by more popular skinfluencers, so maybe that's why. I really like Make Prem because it's a very affordable brand and it is very popular in Korea, especially for people with sensitive skin. It's a great choice because they use very minimalist formulas and the products are usually alcohol and fragrance free. The INTECA cream is sort of pitched as a soothing cream, predominantly for irritated skin, and it uses INTECA, which is a patented Centella Asiatica ingredient complex, supposedly more readily absorbed by the skin because they did something to it that I didn't quite understand. But basically it's a mix of Centella Asiatica compound extract, so madecassoside, asiaticoside, Centella Asiatica extract, etc., etc. This is a very hydrating cream. It contains 8 types of hyaluronic acid plus also glycerin, so lots of hydration. And in terms of moisture or moisturizing agent, it also contains sunflower seed extract. This is also alcohol and fragrance free. As I said, most Make Prem products are. And it just has the most beautiful texture, especially if you want something very lightweight. It really has this hyper light fluid or gel-like texture that just completely melts into skin. It doesn't feel heavy and it doesn't feel too occlusive. I think a lot of ㅅCA balms in particular can feel very heavy. This is super, super light, but it still feels as if it's kind of sealing in and locking in any hydration that you put on beforehand. The texture just feels very cooling as well, which is why to me this one is the one I grab when I feel my skin is kind of just overly sensitized or overheated, too much sun or too much exfoliation can sometimes make my skin just feel prickly and really hot. This is what I then reach for and really love. Because of its lightness, I would say this is best for oilier skin types down to normal skin. It works well if you have sensitive skin that is easily overwhelmed as well. However, it just really doesn't moisturize a lot. It's very, very light. So I would say if you have dry skin, either combine it with another moisturizer and just use it more like a sleeping cream or a sealing cream as an extra add-on, or choose one of the other ㅅCA creams that I'm going to introduce. It certainly isn't the richest one out of the 4 from today's video, but it is so soothing. It is so lovely and refreshing and calming. I really enjoy using that, especially as a nighttime product. Again, kind of like a sleeping cream. That's how I prefer to use it. But it is, even for me with my combo skin, not enough as a moisturizer on its own. But it does work fantastically well as a soothing, calming, anti-redness, anti-inflammatory cream. And it's quite affordable. You can get a lot of really good deals from Olive Young. So to me, one of my favorite ㅅCA creams, absolutely more for oilier skin than for the dry skin types. This second ㅅCA cream, again, I don't think is very well known here in the West, which is funny because this brand is so highly regarded and so popular in Korea. One of the most popular derma brands in Korea. I've shown you another product from the ㅅCA line, the toner, and here's now the cream, which is the Physiogel Red Soothing ㅅCA Balance Cream. It took me a while to buy this because, to be honest, it is a little bit pricey. Physiogel in general, not really, I find, not really an affordable brand. So I think I paid like 30 bucks for this, which I think is quite a lot for a K-beauty product, a K-beauty drugstore product. But on the other hand, I can't see why people like this so much. So this ㅅCA cream uses a mix of panthenol, niacinamide, and a ㅅCA complex, which again is just like the INTECA complex, just a mix of different Centella Asiatica compounds, active compounds. So asiaticoside, madecassoside, you know the drill by now. It also contains quite a lot of hydrating humectant ingredients such as glycerin, beta-glucan, and it is free from hyaluronic acid. So if you don't do well with hyaluronic acid, this could be a good ㅅCA choice for you as a moisturizer. Just as the Make Prem cream, this is also fragrance and alcohol free and in general has a very minimalist formula. Physiogel is another great sensitive skin friendly brand overall. As for the texture, it's very different from the other three ㅅCA creams that I'm introducing you to today because it is very light. It has a very watery, almost runny, very light texture that really just feels more like a very light moisturizer than any sort of occlusive or sealing cream. So you have to kind of like that. I think a lot of people want more sort of balm-esque sort of textures from their ㅅCA cream, and this is more like a very light moisturizer, daytime moisturizer. To be absolutely honest, for me, maybe a tad too light. I do like it, but I feel in my 40s now, this is a little bit too on the gel watery side. If you have younger skin, if you're a teenager, if you're in your 20s, early 30s, plus oily skin, plus acne-prone skin, this, however, I think is a pretty ideal moisturizer. It is very calming, very soothing, and it is pretty much oil-free, so it works very well if you have clogged pores and your skin is easily overwhelmed from any sort of oilier, heavier textures. I would have, I think, loved that in my 20s. Just if you're more on the mature side or more on the dry skin side, this will probably not be enough for you. Also, I think it is a bit of a negative that it's not the cheapest. You can sometimes find deals at Olive Young Global, but I would also really wait for the sales because they tend to overblow the prices for the Physiogel products on the Olive Young Global side quite a bit. So look out for value packs if you want to try this one. And again, it's mostly, I think, for oilier, younger skin. But for those people, I think it can be really lovely because it's a very lovely, super light, refreshing texture. ㅅCA cream number 3 is from Cosrx. I actually didn't think I would like this as much as I did. I tried it out first because I had a little mini sample in one of my, I think it was in one of the Olive Young boxes that I got. And I just kind of tried it out, not expecting much. And I really like this. I liked it enough to actually get the full size. And this is the Cosrx ㅅCA cream. I think it's just called ㅅCA cream. Oh, Pure Fit ㅅCA cream, I think it's called. And it looks like this. This has a similar texture actually to the INTECA, the Make Prem cream, very similar, not quite as cooling. However, if you want something more cooling that really helps soothe any sort of overreactive skin, I think the INTECA is a tad better. However, I do feel this one, similar melty, creamy, gel-like texture, and it is a lot more moisturizing for me, which is why I really like this so much. This can replace my moisturizer, which the INTECA honestly cannot. The INTECA I always see more as an add-on, whereas this can just be used as a regular moisturizer, and it is similarly calming, soothing, anti-inflammatory. It really helps with redness. It contains, again, the same mix up of Centrale Asiatica compounds. They are kind of all very similar in what they use in terms of cica. It's just that they either have sort of different patented ingredients, or they have a different balance of the various compounds. But I think in terms of which one is the best or cica product, they're all kind of similar in that they soothe and calm down skin, and they're all anti-inflammatory and thus help with redness. And this one does this particularly well, I find, compared to the other two that I've introduced so far. In terms of moisturizing and hydrating ingredients, it contains glycerin and hyaluronic acid plus macadamia seed oil, which also means that if you are acne prone and tend to get clogged pores, then maybe be a bit careful with this, because macadamia seed oil can be a little bit too oily and too overwhelming for people who are already on the oily skin side. It doesn't have to be, but at least, be aware of that and be careful, and maybe try a little mini version first before you go for the full size, or go for the Make Prem one, which I think could potentially work better in that case. For me, honestly, I think if I had to pick a quote-unquote winner from all the cica creams, this would be it. I just think there's something very special about its texture. It really just melts into skin, and it leaves it so soft. It has a very softening effect on my skin. It helps very well with my redness issues, and it just is so convenient because you don't have to use it like a balm or anything. You can use it as a daytime moisturizer. I think it works very well under makeup too. Price-wise, it's also not as good as the Make Prem one. So if you're more on the budget side, go for the Make Prem one, especially if you find any sort of budget value pack on Olive Young. I think I bought mine for like $20. This one cost something around $30. I still think it's worth it, because for soothing, for calming, for anti-inflammatory effect, and because I find the texture just a little bit more moisturizing, this to me is pretty much the winner if you are oily to combo skin. But also I think for normal skin it can work. Still not enough, I think, for dry skin. But the next one, the last cica cream, might be something for you dry skin people. All right, last up is the only one that I find is a little bit more on the balm type side versus gel or sort of water-based texture. And this one is the AESTURA A-Cica 365 Calming Cream. I think I showed this to you sometime last year, so I've been using this for many months now. You only need a little bit per use, so even though I do use this quite regularly, it just somehow doesn't ever seem to get less. Definitely the best one for sensitive, dry skin, flaky skin, if you just need something rich and nourishing. However, it's interesting because for me, with my combo skin, I still don't consider this to be too heavy. There's still an elegance to it, and there's smoothness when you apply it. And it also doesn't just sit on the skin, but it does sink into skin and make it feel very soft and sort of velvety, nourished. It's a really calming and comforting feeling when you apply it. So I still like it, even though I have more oilier combo skin. But in general, I would say it's best for drier skin types and very sensitive skin that just needs a lot of pampering and hydration. It contains a couple of hydrating and moisturizing ingredients. Glycerin and beta-glucan are two humectants, so water-grabbing or hydrating ingredients. Plus, it also contains squalane, which is an oil-like substance that is usually very well tolerated and tends to not break out pimple. And otherwise, it's a very simple formula, actually, and it is, again, fragrance and alcohol-free. All four of the creams actually are that I'm introducing to you today. Whereas I would say that the other three Cica creams are really great if you're blemish-prone, if you're acne-prone. Especially the Physiogel one could work very well for someone with acne-prone skin. This one I wouldn't necessarily recommend if you have acne-prone skin, because I think it is quite rich, but it does work very well for soothing and repairing, especially if you have skin barrier issues. This can be a fantastic one to use as an overnight balmy sort of product. For me, this is the one I usually reach for when my skin is really hyperreactive, because it just gives this feeling of pampering and calming and really sort of nourishes and pampers up your skin from within. Now, if you have very dry skin, this could work as a daytime product, but otherwise I would say this works best at night as an overnight sort of healing balm. It can replace your moisturizer, or you can add some hydrating serums to get some more hydration out of it, out of your routine. And if you have dry skin, flaky skin, sensitive skin, need something nourishing that is still very, very gentle and contains a lot of strong Cica goodness, I feel with AESTURA, it's the same with the Cica serum. Somehow I have a feeling that the Cica that they use is just of a very high quality. I really, with this one, also with the Cosrx one, I just instantly can tell that it does have all those Cica qualities, that it really helps with take down redness, that it helps with itchiness, that it just helps when your skin is inflamed. So it is a bit on the pricier side, but with AESTURA, I feel the price is kind of justified because the quality of the product is just there. So that was it, my comparison of 4 really popular Cica creams. These are all hyper popular in Korea. These are the ones that Koreans buy. Even though they might not be as well known necessarily in the West. I know I've called this a battle of the Cica creams, but honestly, I like all 4. So I don't really want to knock one out or make one my favorite. However, if I had to pick a favorite, it would probably be the Cosrx one for my combo skin, for my hyper red skin, for my easily reactive skin during allergy season. This one just delivers such a great mix of being moisturizing but not too heavy, of having just this beautiful texture, and just being the most comfortable one for my skin. However, the other 3 are all really great. I do think the Physiogel one it just doesn't work as well for my more mature skin, but that's maybe also on me for choosing such a super light texture. Teenage me and me in my 20s would have adored this because it is so light. And I feel the INTECA one is just fantastic. There's something very special about the INTECA texture, and especially the cooling effect. I have a feeling come summer, when it gets really hot here in the southwest of Germany, I will probably reach for this even more so than for the Cosrx one, because it is so light and super, super refreshing. And I really like that Make Prem is actually such an affordable brand. And then as for the AESTURA, I just think this one is more of a winter one for me. It's wonderful if you have dry skin, and it really has the most healing and skin barrier repairing feel to it. And there's something very lush and luxurious about the texture. So this is the difference between those 4. They're all great for various different reasons and for different skin concerns. And I hope I helped you a little bit to choose your new ㅅCA cream. I hope you found this helpful. I constantly get complaints that my videos are too long. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to give you a lot of information. I used to be a university lecturer. I don't know, maybe that's why I talk so much. I'm so sorry. I always try to put in chapters and give you encouragement to skip when you find something boring. But yeah, I just try to relay the information. I'm so sorry. This is why I'm not on TikTok, because I talk too much. I'm not good with the short format, I think. Anyway, see, I'm rambling again. So nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed this video, learned something new, and it would be fantastic if you did like the video to maybe give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, maybe a nice one, and share your experiences with any of the products introduced here, or tell me what your favorite ㅅCA cream is. There's so many others that I haven't tested yet. And consider subscribing and sticking around. I do a video every week, usually on Thursday, and this is why I will also see you again next week. And until then, please take care. Bye.